Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Ready, Set, Replay, the ultimate video game replay podcast. I'm Daniel, joined as always by my best friend, Skylar.
I'm here as well, and we're ready.
This week, we are talking about, of course, Dino Crisis for, I think, kind of just the PS1. Pretty sure it didn't go anywhere else super notable. But, Skylar, as per usual, you know we have to travel back to the time when it came out.
We're going to meet the dinosaurs in the middle.
Pretty much. All right, let's get it.
Yeah.
Skylar, it is September 23rd of 1999. That's right. Not 2000, but in fact 1 year back. We're doing that thing we do where we go back to play an older game in a franchise that has a release date in the 2000s.
Gee, I wonder what our next game's going to be.
It's impossible to know. But hey, the good news is we have some really interesting things that actually happened this week in the world. First of all, the Billboard Top 5 has some very interesting songs. Number 1 is Unpretty by TLC, which is an extremely timely song in that at the turn of the century and basically up until like 2010. Not that it's ever really ended, but it was an especially terrible time to be a woman in any kind of media. It was that time period where you look at Nickelodeon stars and you're like, every single person on this roster has an eating disorder.
It's the way of it.
It's unfortunate, and even more unfortunate kind of making a comeback. Number 2 is She's All I Ever Had by Ricky Martin, which is not a great song, but you know, Ricky Martin. So, as featured in Bad Bunny's halftime show.
That's true. Yeah, he did.
Number 3 is Vayamos from Enrique Iglesias. A classic, surely. Surely everyone knows this song, but not as much as one would know Number 4, Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera.
Unbelievable. That's not number 1 still. Whenever it came out.
I mean, to be honest, it is definitely the best of the 5 songs on this list. Because number 5 is actually just... Number 5 might be the worst song that's ever appeared on this list that we've covered. It's Summer Girls by LFO. I highly recommend nobody look it up unless they want to specifically see a terrible song. But it's...
Looking it up right now.
It's actually terrible. It is like the most egregious like fuckboy anthem of maybe all time. It's real bad. So bad. Should I give you a minute?
No, I've got the gist of it already.
It's really bad. It's fucking awful.
I'm not familiar with LFO. Did they have good songs?
I don't know if they had good songs, but they are a band name that I recognized. So for whatever that's worth, I'm not particularly familiar with them, and I'm not interested in the moment.
We need to close out of this before the YouTube algorithm starts putting it in playlists for me. All right.
It's too late. They'll get you. They'll be like, this thing you watched for 30 seconds, we're going to overwrite
no.
40 hours of movie reviews or whatever you've been watching on the side.
You can do Genie in a Bottle. You can do that one. That one's good.
In the world of films and television, NBC is having a hell of a week, launching 3 shows that are certified bangers. For completely different demographics, I would say.
All right. What we got?
On the 20th, they launched Law & Order SVU.
Damn.
Not
1999?
1999. Not a show that I particularly... Law & Order, I'm sure, existed before SVU. I don't know for sure that, but I'm pretty confident. And then SVU was like a spinoff, maybe? Is that correct?
Special Victims Unit.
Yeah. But obviously, hugely popular show. I'm not a huge fan of Law & Order myself, but hey, it's, I'm pretty sure, still ongoing, so can't argue with that.
Yeah.
On the 22nd, just 2 days after that, they premiered The West Wing.
Oh, all right.
So everyone's mom's favorite show and everyone's dad's favorite show.
Another show that I haven't watched, but definitely know. Yeah.
It's a good one. Everyone who has watched it seems to be very high on it. And then on the 25th, which is technically 2 days from now, but we'll include it because I don't know if/when we're coming back to 99. We've got Freaks and Geeks premiering.
Wow, that is a show that I have watched in its entirety, which is easy to do because it's only like 6 episodes.
Yeah, it didn't last super long. Definitely a cult classic, that one, but
yeah, for sure.
But still very good.
With a lot of names, but be warned, for those of you who don't know, one of those names is James Franco, so just be careful.
Hey, James Franco's making something. No, his brother's doing all right.
Yeah, his brother filled the gap.
So
he was like, when the world needed a Franco because we lost one, Dave Franco stepped up. He said, "I'll be that Franco," and the world was like, "All right, yeah, we'll go with it."
Well,
and you know what?
Thank
you, Dave Franco.
His girlfriend / wife is great.
Alison Brie. Yeah,
I didn't know if they were married.
They're married.
What a great pairing those two may be. I don't know. Apparently they're like really cringe together, but in like an adorable way. The box office has two pretty big hits and then 3 what are those?
Okay.
Number 1 is The Sixth Sense from Disney.
Fantastic film.
Still holding on to number 1 despite having come out over a month ago in August.
All right.
Of course, being future Sora voice actor Haley Joel Osment and Bruce Willis.
That's right. Future raccoon from Over the Hedge voice actor Bruce Willis.
That's
you gotta give him his flowers.
It's such a fucking pull.
No, it's not.
It's a pull. It's a real ad. People remember? People do not remember Over the Hedge.
People know Over the Hedge. They know it.
They
know it.
People do not remember Over the Hedge, and the people who do, well, actually, no. The few people who do probably do remember the voice actors, but certainly most people do not remember.
Steve Carell, William Shatner, Avril Lavigne. Come on, Over the Hedge.
Right.
It's
Yep.
A movie that happened.
Sure.
I'm not gonna let you forget about it.
Okay, good. Number 2 is Stigmata, coming to us from MGM.
Stigmata.
You may not have heard of this movie because no one has, because it's not very good. It features Patricia Arquette and Gabriel Byrne. I don't know. Some lady gets like possessed by Jesus or the Antichrist, and then the Catholic Church gets involved, and it's like The Exorcist but different.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it, obviously, but I watched the trailer. Number 3 is Stir of Echoes from Artisan Entertainment, which is not even a publisher that I've heard of before, let alone a movie I've heard of. But it is Kevin Bacon having like visions of a girl who's gone missing. I don't know. Some psychic shit. Number 4, here we are. We got there. It's Runaway Bride from Paramount.
There's one we know.
Julia Roberts, Richard Gere. Julia Roberts doesn't want to get married, but she keeps almost getting married. That's the movie. And then number 5, The Thomas Crown Affair from MGM. This is, of course, I'm sure, a movie that you're extremely familiar with, being as how literally no one I've ever heard of in my life has ever said these words in this order before.
No. I love this movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it's Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo.
See, that's why I love it.
Whereas Pierce Brosnan is some kind of playboy who steals art. I honestly watched the entire trailer and still could not really figure out.
It's got Dennis Leary in it.
What the movie was about. That's true. I see you have the IMDb pulled up.
No. I love this movie.
Uh-huh. For sure. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Faye Dunaway.
Uh-huh.
But we don't need to waste time on that. What else is going on?
On your favorite movie. The only other thing that has happened this month is, hey man, a little bit of a downer. There was a big ass earthquake in Athens, Greece.
Oh.
It is a magnitude 5.9 earthquake that cracked open a brand new fault line that people did not know existed prior to that.
Ooh. Damn.
It killed 143 people, which is, I don't know how that racks up on earthquake casualty numbers, but surely not good. Injured over 500 and left 50,000 homeless. So I guess when you take into perspective that 50,000 homes or like people worth of homes were destroyed and only 143 people died, I guess it's not that bad, but still pretty rough.
Is it in bad taste to say Greece has been through worse? Like,
I mean, it's true. Krakens?
Yeah.
My man just went and resaw the Odyssey.
Come on, like Zeus Zeus impregnated all those women.
Now hold on.
Like they
If I know
they
one thing about the
uh-huh.
Kraken, it's
Okay.
that it is Davy Jones' friend, not Zeus's friend.
That's different mythology.
Wow, come
That's
on.
for pirates and Greek mythology doesn't mix. But pirates is it a bold take to say I think pirates is cooler? Not like the franchise Pirates of the Caribbean, but just like pirates in general are cooler.
I don't know that it's a bold take, but I would disagree with it. I mean, but pirates are cool. I mean, we're arguing two extremely cool things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
like, come on now, Spartans and like all the monsters that they've got going on. Come on.
But the real question is, where do pirates and centaurs and krakens stack up against dinosaurs?
For me personally, they all
Yeah.
beat dinosaurs. I've never been a huge dinosaur guy.
Really?
I mean, they're cool. Don't get me wrong. Again, we're arguing cool things, but I'm not a big dinosaur guy. I enjoy dinosaur things. I enjoy this game
Man,
well enough. Spoilers. I like
I think
Jurassic Park, the first one.
when I was a kid, dinosaurs were like in the running in top three of the coolest things of all time.
What were the other two top threes?
Well, unsurprisingly, pirates was one,
Nerd.
and what was I don't know. So maybe it was top two.
Cars.
No, I
Space.
wasn't big into. I did like space. Yeah, I liked astronauts a lot. So
S-
that might be it.
Space is like incredibly broad though, so that encapsulates a lot. You know what I
Like
mean?
I had like little toys and models of like the Apollo rockets and stuff.
I probably should have looked this up beforehand. Which Jurassic Park movies are out in '99 in September of '99?
Just the first two.
Okay, so we're still pretty
Yeah.
high on dinosaurs right now
Oh
because
yeah.
one's super good and two is like also good but not as good. Three, I think, was the one that first started dipping, and then we won't get the world ones for a long time, but those ones not great.
I I think in my humble opinion, Jurassic Park, the first one, is one of the greatest films of all time ever made.
Yeah,
Lost World, which came out in 97, so 2 years before this, not as good like at all. It's still like a Steven Spielberg dinosaur movie, so it's worth watching, but
sure.
not very. But it ends with a T-Rex rampaging through San Diego, and hey, I was growing up in San Diego, so
And that's
there
why
you
he had to
go.
leave because of all the T-Rexes.
Yeah, I gotta tell you that bit where like that family's dog gets eaten by the T-Rex. I every night I'm like, we can't leave the dog outside,
No, that makes
and that's
sense.
not even a joke. That's not even a joke. I'm like, it's gonna happen
We don't know for sure that the T-Rex and the dog weren't friends.
in the movie.
Yeah.
I guess it's possible. We never see the dog actually get eaten.
You never see
We
dog
just
corpse.
he's carrying the doghouse that he's chained up to, so he could have freed him.
Yeah.
He could have taken the collar off, and then
Well, and this is a T-Rex with a history
after
of breaking bonds. This is
that's true.
T-Rex breaker of chains, mother of
That's right. Yeah,
dragons.
and after he emancipated the dog, he smashed
The blockbuster?
the symbol of his oppression, the doghouse.
Oh, right, yes, yeah.
And then yeah, he ate that guy outside the Blockbuster. That did happen
That
too.
did happen too.
All of this to say that I think Jurassic Park 3 is a perfectly fine movie.
Yeah, I mean I don't think any of them are bad, but
Well, until we get to
surely
the
does not stack up to the first one.
worlds. Some of the
Sure,
worlds
yeah,
really
but
suck.
that's like a
Yeah.
different guy. That's a
Yeah,
different.
yeah, 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 yeah,
We don't need to
yeah.
include them. They weren't
Jurassic Park
invited.
3 was directed by Joe Johnston.
I don't know who that is.
He directed The Rocketeer
Oh,
and Captain America: The First Avenger
oh, so he has made good movies.
and Jumanji.
Uh,
People forget that.
which one? The good one?
The first one, the Robin Williams
The
one.
good one. Okay,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
good and great. None of that super related to what we're talking about outside of both have dinosaurs.
There's no dinosaurs in Jumanji.
We are here. There's like, there could be. Maybe they
You
should
know
pull
how?
that card. You know what I mean?
All right, so there's Jumanji, and then there was Zathura.
Yeah.
There should have been a third one with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
This seems
Yeah.
like the next step.
Anyway, so we're here to talk about the video game Dino Crisis, brought to you by the damn near exact same team as Resident Evil. This comes to us, I believe, between Resident Evils 2 and 3. I don't think 3 is quite out yet, but I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure.
This is, as we said, we're in 99, and I don't remember the date for Resident Evil 3, but we have that in the year 1999, so I don't know.
Okay, so it's out in Japan yesterday.
Oh, cool.
But it doesn't come to America until November. Anyway. So we're right there in the middle. And this was, it's still Shinji Mikami being, put onto this. But at the time, the Capcom and Resident Evil's team, because of the success of 1 and 2, they're working on like 5 different just Resident Evil games, as well as this and a secret project that we're not supposed to know what it is yet, but we do know is Devil May Cry.
Oh.
But he thinks the Devil May Cry, and we'll talk about this in a couple of years when we get to Resident Evil 4 and or Devil May Cry. But at the time that he's making Devil May Cry, he thinks it's going to be Resident Evil 4.
Interesting.
Yeah. But in the middle here, he accidentally launched another cult classic survival horror video game series.
When does Devil May Cry come out?
It's a PS2 game. That's all I know for sure.
Okay. Because that series is a gap on my gaming resume.
Yeah, and we'll definitely get to that. That's another Shinji Mikami joint, and that guy he doesn't miss. Although usually when people pick up his toys and try to run with them afterwards, they drop the ball real fucking hard. So that definitely happened with Devil May Cry, and we'll get to that. But this was directly in response to like, hey, these are really good. What if we had more, but it was a different thing? And then they were like, what if Resident Evil, but dinosaurs? Which is funny because I feel like a lot of the reviews about this game are like, oh, it's just Resident Evil with dinosaurs. But also, that's like why this game sold as well as it did. It's because people were like, well, Resident Evil's really good and dinosaurs are awesome. So I'm gonna buy this. But hey, before I get too deep into this, Skylar, what are your top level thoughts, of course?
This is like Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
On Dino Crisis.
Okay. So we did that. We said the Resident Evil part. This game is fun, but there's an asterisk.
Okay.
That it's like 80% of this game is walking around a high-tech like office park, kind of looks like, and finding both keys and codes to unlock doors to walk more around the office park, and then occasionally a velociraptor or a bigger, scarier velociraptor basically will jump out, and you got to shoot it or run from it. But the vibes are immaculate. When this game starts, like they captured, I feel, the essence of like when you're reading that first Jurassic Park book. I'm not going to give it the credit of the essence of the movie because that's on a whole nother level.
Okay.
But like I feel the book. I feel the book in this. If that makes sense.
The book is in the room with us right now.
Yeah, it's true.
I agree. I think this is a really fun game. I think there's a couple of things. We'll talk about sort of what their intention was with this game when they were making it, and I think a lot of their intention was missed wildly, but I think despite that they ended up with a really fun time. It's an interesting concept to be like we are a bunch of secret agents of some kind from a nation that will never be named. They just continuously are like our nation, the nation, right?
Yeah, right.
Who coincidentally are wildly different ethnicities. Regina is, I think she's supposed to be Japanese, right? We don't, I guess, know for sure, but
you would assume so.
And then you've got Gale, who's clearly some kind of like Eastern European, Russian, Austrian, something.
He's a big Cody Rhodes.
He's a little bit Cody Rhodes. A grumpy ass regular soldier guy who just wants to complete the mission. And then you've got Rick, who is I mean black, but also I think like supposed to be gay. Am I correct? Did you pick up on this at all?
No, see, I think just comedic relief that's what that was back then. And
Maybe.
not to say that Rick was ever funny, but he was always like, "No, we're not doing that. That's scary."
Yeah, for sure.
Which you're right, Rick. You're right. But also, I'm Regina and I'm cool.
For me, there was something about how dedicated he was to saving that one guy Tom and his reaction when Tom dies that I was like, oh, there was something here.
Don't devalue male friendships.
They were in love. They were in love.
Dino Crisis is Rick gay? No official information states that Rick from Dino Crisis is gay, but that's just what AI wants us to think. Google AI, I don't trust you.
AI can't be gay.
Yeah, it's not cool enough.
Or arguably all AI would be gay, I guess. Because if AI fell in love with AI and all of it's ungendered.
That's true.
Then that's the same. That is homosexual, technically.
I don't know. What is it? Frogs?
Right. Okay.
They could change their gender.
Yeah.
Is AI like frogs?
Maybe. We'll have to ask a frogologist.
Because frog DNA was used to make dinosaurs.
And we've come full circle, just like that.
Hey, we've got a friend. I'm gonna yell about something for a second, mostly unrelated. We've got a friend that loves dinosaurs, but she's terrified of frogs. And I'm like, how the fuck? Because that whole point of that movie was they took frog DNA. She's a fraud, I think.
She's a frog. If there wasn't...
Oh, she is a frog.
If there were not frogs, there would not be dinosaurs. That's what Jurassic Park taught us.
I think if they actually showed frogs in Jurassic Park, then it would have cured our friend of her phobia.
If they like made a T-Rex, but it had a frog mouth.
Ooh, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it does.
That's horrific. All right. Did you the game is good.
It's pretty good. It's a lot of it is like gameplay wise basically just exactly Resident Evil. Like you're walking through places, you're shooting in very much the same way. Although it is nice in this one you can walk and aim your gun at the same time. You have to stop it to shoot.
Yeah, I noticed that.
You have to stop to shoot still, but it makes it feel like Regina is more like capable in a fight, in a gunfight, than the others, which is good because the others just have to fight zombies and she has to fight the goddamn Stone Age.
You would think so, except you can't beat Agents of Stars, right? They're the best, so they just know
to
plant their feet and to get the best shot off. You gotta. Regina's just like running and gunning because she don't got the time.
We can't even really say agents of like Stars agents, right? Because it's really only like 2 of them that even survive.
Well, yeah, now, yeah, they used to be cool.
It's Chris and Jill, and everyone else kind of sucks. Because Leon's not Stars, is he? No,
he's just a cop.
Yeah,
until he becomes a superhero.
True. But that's through experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so when this game was originally being made, they wanted it to feel a lot more different from Resident Evil, I think. And so they were wanting it to be like outside in a jungle mostly, and you're like going between different facilities, like but you have to cut through like jungles to get there.
Having never played this game before, kind of assumed that's what it was going to be, and was a little sad when that was not the case.
And unfortunately, we can directly blame the PS1 for that. Is it just did not have the power to render a jungle.
That's fair.
So they were like, okay, well, what if instead we're just inside the facility? And then presumably they looked at the Jurassic Park movies and were like, okay, so what dinosaurs can we still use inside? Velociraptors, for sure.
They can open doors. One opens a door in this one time.
And then stronger blue velociraptors. Little spoilers for Jurassic World on that one.
Ooh. Yeah, they had an actual name and I didn't remember what it was.
No, they were those ones were just called blue raptors. You might be thinking of the
Oh,
other ones that were like Therizinosaurs or some shit.
yeah, they got
Yeah, they're
yeah.
different. They're a different guy.
Okay,
And
yeah,
that
you're right.
dinosaur actually like did not look at all like how it looks in the game.
Mm.
Which nerds will be like, neither do the raptors. The raptors have feathers or whatever, and that's true. But like, you know,
Oh,
kind of the
shut up
same.
with raptor feathers. I'm done with it.
Yeah,
Sick of
but
it.
the Therizinosaur was like, I guess, relatively new at the time, and so they just like did it wrong, maybe. But
Mm.
if you look up like what they look like, even pretty shortly after what we thought they looked like, it's like, oh no, that's a different guy. That's not the same. It's not the same creature. They got like crazy long tails. They're like entire arms are scythes, like Scyther the Pokemon almost.
Ooh, that's cool. We like
And also
Scyther.
notably herbivores, so would not be fucking you up. And you might be asking, why does an herbivore need scythes? No fucking idea. Couldn't tell you. Not a paleontologist.
They specifically chose not to put any herbivores in this.
No. Well, okay, so and this is trivia, I guess, but when they had more going into this game, like when it was outside, they were planning on having Triceratops and Ankylosaurus as enemies.
Because they can fuck
But
you up.
because they can fuck you up. But you can't really fit those inside. And so they got cut like super early. Which is a little disappointing because then it's like, oh, every single enemy in this game uses the same skeleton. Right? Because you got Raptor, you got Therizinosaur, you've got T-Rex, and then you've got Compy. And the only one that's different is the
Pterodon.
The pterodactyl. Yeah. But you only see them like once or twice, right?
Yeah, they're not in a lot.
Yeah.
You throw one into a blender.
You do throw one into it. Well, kind of throws itself into a blender a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't really have much to do with that, to be fair.
That was kind of spooky though. Did you ever have because so they want the idea of this game is they wanted to call it, was it panic horror or something like that? Is they wanted you to feel like at any time anything can happen. You know, more so even than Resident Evil. Resident Evil was survival horror. We want you to just not get killed by these guys. But for this one, the feeling was they wanted you to constantly feel on edge, which I understand, and they definitely make good on that in a couple of different ways. With like the fact that the dinosaurs can chase you from room to room, like almost all of them can do that.
Yeah,
like that's great. That's terrifying, right?
The compies couldn't handle stairs though.
The compies were not scary. And I truly think they only made the cut because they were in the movie.
Yeah. And because you could just model them off the same skeletal structure.
Yeah, you grab the corner and just shift click and drag it down.
Yeah.
There you are. It was a raptor. So those ones not so intimidating, but everything else pretty good. And then your T-Rex, of course, acts similarly to, I guess, a nemesis in some ways, where you fight it multiple times and it's kind of stalking you, I guess.
The T-Rex gave me the only actual jump scare of the game.
Oh, was it right at the beginning?
No, I don't think at the beginning. The second time he shows up, he busts through the office, or
when he comes in through the window.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that's technically the second time because you see him in the cutscene where he kills your coworker that you never meet. But that's what I meant. That's what I meant the first time.
I feel like he chased me once before that, though.
Does he? I mean, he didn't for me. For me, he sticks his head through the window, and then you fight him like at the helipad, and then at the end he chases you.
What about he chased me on a, I don't want to say rooftop because but like on the roof. Like
there is also there is a bit where he attacks you on a rooftop.
I may have just done something out of order because I did forget to get something in that room and I had to go back for it. So I think that might be the problem.
Oh, you didn't do that room for a long time? I didn't know you could get much further into the game without having done that, but maybe.
Man, I don't know. Who knows? But I did it, and he scared me.
Fair enough. So they really want to I guess they were prioritizing smaller number of monsters or enemies, but have them be stronger. And some of that works. You know, I think the first time that the raptor did a tail whip and knocked my gun out of my hand, that was scary. Didn't see that shit coming. But at a certain point, I feel like I just kind of stopped being like pretty early on. I would say I stopped being scared of the dinosaurs like at all because they're not super hard to kill.
Right.
And I did end up running out of ammo a couple of times and having to like switch to other guns. But other than that, like I never really ran into any issues with them. So I found them, I think, less scary than the enemies in Resident Evil.
I would agree.
Usually.
I would agree. I think even when you get to the stronger, I don't remember their name, dinosaurs.
Don't worry about it. It's a stupid fucking name.
Yeah, it's even when they showed up, it was less like, oh no, they're stronger, I'm scared, and more of like, well, you're annoying, I'm just gonna run away. Like that wasn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Wasn't that worried about it.
One of my other sort of disappointments with the enemies was that there was only the one boss. I mean, you fought it 4 or 5 times or whatever, but the fact that the only boss that you fought was the T-Rex, a little disappointing. I get that, like, that is the boss of dinosaurs, right? At least until we get introduced to Spinosaurus in later Jurassic Park movies. But
people were mad. People were mad that he beat the T-Rex.
And how dare they? There's probably a Spinosaurus in later Dino Crisis games. I don't know for sure, but I would assume.
How many games deep does this series go?
At least 3.
The fact that you were saying that the PS1 can't make a jungle, can't handle a jungle, but then I noticed Dino Crisis 2 also a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah,
so that has me a little worried.
For the franchise.
About that.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Dino Crisis. I intentionally avoided looking into stuff about that yet. But yeah, I would assume that it's gonna be a lot of walking around corridors as well. I also think here's maybe my hottest take is I think the story of this game is worse than Resident Evil, but I kind of like,
for sure.
At this point in Resident Evil, I think I kind of like the characters more. I think that they have more personality.
The characters of Regina, Rick, and Gale.
Yeah, I think that they have more interesting personalities than the very limited amount of personality that we get from the Resident Evil characters. Because we'll get more personality from them later and in like remakes and shit. But if I'm just looking at like Resident Evil 1 and 2,
sure,
not a ton going on there.
Resident Evil 1 for sure. Everybody's kind of like, Wesker, what are you doing?
What
like,
are
that's
you
everybody.
The voice acting definitely better in this.
And then Resident Evil 2, Leon's just a golden retriever. Claire's cool. I would put Regina on the same level as Claire.
Claire is cool. Similar cool outfits for sure. One's got cool jacket, one's got cool hair. So
I think I did, because of Resident Evil and because of Wesker, I was expecting Gale to betray me the entire game. Basically.
I also thought that for basically for the whole time. I was like, so when is Gale going to turn out to be evil? Because you're tracking down this doctor, right, Kirk?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so he's gonna like kind of like clearly he just wants the doctor. He doesn't care about anything else. Which I guess is kind of true. Like he definitely cares way more about the mission than most other people. But no, he's just a hard ass. Like he's still a good guy. He's just a hard ass.
At least as far as this game is concerned. I don't know what happens in 2,
I guess that's fair.
if he returns in 2. But yeah, I was just like, because you start the game and he's like, Regina, go over here and you listen to me because you're a woman and I'm not. And you're like, all right, when is he gonna like slam the door behind me and have a velociraptor chase me or something? But it never happens.
I almost wonder if they did that intentionally because of Wesker. They were like, oh, everyone's gonna assume.
The twist is that he's not evil.
The twist is that he's not Wesker. Yeah. Because everyone's like, well, this is basically just Resident Evil. And they're like,
it was a surprise for me. Yeah.
Got you, bitch. All of your friends are your friends. Except maybe that one who gets eaten by the T-Rex in like the first 2 seconds of the game. We don't know. He could have sucked.
Yeah. Oh, he was the Wesker.
Yeah.
He was going to betray us.
Well, he does kind of screw you over because he's the one who had the radio on him for you to like call out, but he got murdered immediately. So you're like, well, guess we're stuck here for the duration of this video game.
which is not that long, to be fair.
No, yeah, I mean, I think I finished it in probably roughly 5 hours. Pretty
Somewhere around the
short.
same.
Yeah, and I think Dino Crisis 2 is similarly short, maybe a little bit longer, but not too bad. Another area where I think this game is maybe falls a little bit short of like the Resident Evil games, for example, is in its weapons. I think that so you start out with all of your guns. You just have your pistol, shotgun, grenade launcher, and then you find upgrades for it throughout the game, right?
Isn't that just what did you play this on?
PS1, quote unquote.
Oh, I see. Um I thought that was just like the easy mode, like the normal mode. Like you find it's still just the three guns, but you find them.
I actually don't remember what difficulty I was playing on. I might have been on
Throughout.
easy, but I don't. Yeah, I definitely didn't find guns anywhere. But there's only the three guns, and then you have a bunch of different like ammo types for it, which I think that is kind of interesting because you've got the pistol ones are all kind of the same, where it's basically just you're just using whatever ones you have. Which honestly, that did get a little bit annoying, where it was like, okay, I can't merge these bullets. They're all for my handgun, but now they're taking up 2 or 3 slots in my inventory because they're technically different bullets.
Inventory system I thought was annoying, which it's not new for these Capcom survival horrors. Like Resident Evil has the inventory system as well, but I don't know if it's just because I have played Resident Evil forever and this is my first time playing this, but I like the Resident Evil way more. I thought it was easier to handle, keep track of everything. Um, but like it annoyed me that you can only have like what was it, 10 or so shotgun shells before it became a new stack and then filled up another slot on your very limited inventory, and then all your healing items, like they do various different things. One stops you from bleeding, one just heals you normally, and then you have other things that you can like craft a medicine, kind of whatever. Um, and inventory management is part of survival horror. I just I don't know. I found it tedious in this one in a way that I wouldn't call it a highlight.
Yeah, I had similar inventory gripes where I still burned through basically all the ammo that I found, but I had because there's so many different like types of healing items that it
It's a
was
lot.
like, yeah. It got to a point where I'm like, I've just got so many different things, and I'm using them pretty consistently, but like, I don't really like. There's the one that just cures blood loss, which is, I guess, this game's version of poison, and I'm just like, I think I only ended up bleeding like maybe 3 times. I was like, okay, well, why do I
It
have
didn't
these?
happen to me a lot either.
Yeah,
Um,
but you can, and then there's the item where it like resurrects you, because I guess maybe I actually, I mean, I was playing on easy almost certainly, but I never like got to the continue screen. I've seen that like you only have a certain number of continues, but that never came up for me. So I don't know if that would have been annoying or not. But I do know, so because I had all these different health items that I didn't really know what the difference between them was, you end up just mixing them all together until eventually they turn into fucking poison darts that kill everything in one shot.
oh, okay. All right. I didn't do that, but okay.
I just kept like mixing them down and down and down, and then eventually you get like 3 poison darts, and the poison dart says kill something in one shot. And so when the like big raptor, Therizinosaur, whatever the fuck guys showed up, I was just like bang.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I was like, get out of here.
You know what? I'll give this game its flowers about one thing that they did here that I thought was a total quality of life improvement over Resident Evil. You go in to a room and the door cutscene tells you the room you're going into.
That is nice. Although I did find it harder to like remember pathing of where I was going, and I think that's because a lot of
Yeah,
the rooms look the same.
the layout and the room design, the set dressing is a lot lamer than Resident Evil. There's so many rooms, especially like you think of the mansion in the first one, I thought.
Right.
Where it's just like I know where I am because I remember this room, because how could I not remember this room? Here it's like, how did I get back to the entrance again?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely had a lot of moments where it would be like, come back and meet me at the security room or whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, okay, hold
Where
on. And I had to
where
like pull up my
where
map and like, where the fuck?
where
Where's it?
where was that?
And then I don't think you can see the vents on the map. Maybe I just didn't see it. But
Yeah, I wasn't reading
when,
that either
because there's the
when
bits where you
looking at the
can,
map.
yeah, there's the bits where you can like rappel up into vents and go from place to
Yeah.
place. And I was like, no, I don't know what any of this is. Like, I almost wish it's nice that when you go room to room that it says what the room is. I wish it said what the room was on the map, so that I would be like,
Yeah,
what's the
that would
security
have been
room?
nice.
What is this? That would have been cool. But, it's the PS1. We're talking about things that will come with, quality of life updates, and once we start learning how to make games a little bit better in the near future. But
Speaking of quality of life,
yes.
and all these modern day Resident Evil or Silent Hill remakes we're getting,
Yeah.
this game is jonesing for a remake.
It is, although about 2 years ago or something, someone did ask Mikami and somebody over at Capcom about like, hey, are you planning on doing a Dino Crisis remake? And they were like, no, but we should. And I was like, okay, so no,
All right, all right.
but
You
so
know that you should though. That's
yeah,
something.
and they're saying the exact same thing about the first two Persona games over at Sega.
Hmm.
So I do think, there's a lot of room for remakes in the current video game landscape, and so I do think at some point we'll get them, but it does feel like they're really focused on let's do every single Resident Evil game imaginable first.
And you know what? As a big Resident Evil fan, I'll take that.
Yeah, I'm not mad
You
about
know,
it,
we'll say
but
winning over on my side, but I'm just saying, like, you could show love
yeah,
to the dinosaurs,
you could slip Dino Crisis 1 and 2 in
and I wouldn't be mad.
like pretty much like, because right now the assumption is that, well, we know they're working on Code Veronica now.
Yeah,
So you do that one again probably and zero, and then you can probably take a break. You can probably take a break and do Dino Crisis 1 and 2.
that's true. Oh, especially because like the only place to go remake wise from there is 5 and 6.
Yeah, well, or the spin-offs. There's a lot of little spin-off ones that maybe like, I don't know where they fall in timeline wise, but there's all the like Outbreak ones and like Resident Evil Survivor and like
Sure,
those fucking guys.
sure. Yeah, that's true.
So there's probably some version of that. But honestly, I think a lot of those games are like pretty small. You should definitely remake whichever of those ones Grace from Resident Evil 9's mom is from, because that game is
Hmm.
unplayable, I think, currently. So
Hmm.
if you're going to continue pushing forward with Grace as a character, it would be nice, is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Not that like the Alyssa Ashcroft necessarily matters so much, but still.
sure.
But yeah, no, I think that they should definitely do remakes for this. I just don't know that it's high on their priority list, unfortunately. Um,
Maybe someday.
so this game also features choices, although the choices don't actually change outcomes so much. Like, the choices don't change who lives and who dies or anything. It's basically just at any point that you choose to go with Rick, you're going to do more puzzles and shoot less dinosaurs. And anytime that you choose to go with Gale, you're going to shoot more dinosaurs and do less puzzles. So I went with Rick most of the time because I found most of the puzzles in this were pretty easy. Like, there's the crane puzzles where you're moving stuff around. That's whatever. There's the one that's like memory based where it's just like flipping over tiles and you have to remember the order that they flip over in.
Yeah.
The only ones that I found annoying were the DDK ones, because I think they just like, A, there's too many of them.
Yeah,
B,
a lot.
it's really really annoying that you have to find two different keys to do to do one door basically, but then you'd have to do
Hmm.
that 7 times or whatever it is,
Hmm.
because you have to find the key and then like the passcode or whatever the fuck it is. I don't even remember what the two different parts are, but and then as you progress, the way that they make that more complicated is also annoying, because the first couple are easy where it's just like, it basically just, you look at the thing and it has a list of letters and then a list of numbers, and the numbers tell you which letters to use, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then eventually you have to like start doing like fucking math to figure out like, okay, well, you gotta stop doing these ones unless it's on the third row, and then if these ones are, it just gets overly complicated in a way that's not fun. So by the end of it, I had just, you realize that like whatever the letter of the DDK is always going to be the first letter of the word. And so I, at a certain point, was just looking at the letters and was like, what word can I make with this? Because it was faster than trying to figure out what weird Sudoku bullshit they needed me to figure out that the word was like, I don't know. I don't even remember any of the words. One was like head, and that was like the first one, and I don't remember any of the others.
Yeah, it was. I remember one was laboratory.
Right, sure, that's probably true. It's just like they got annoying really fast. I didn't know how you felt about those ones.
Yeah, I mean, I said at the beginning that it's 80% of the game's going around the office park and finding keys and solving puzzles to open doors. Because I thought there was too much. I thought the ratio of fighting dinosaurs to I have to open this fucking door was a little off.
Yeah.
Which again, granted, you look at Resident Evil and that's an entire series about I have to open this door too. I just felt them trying to high tech it by making you need to hack a door or find the passcode and then enter the passcode yourself. I was like, it's a little, now I have to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's the puzzle. I think the puzzles in this are more interesting than the ones in Resident Evil, where in Resident Evil the puzzles are find a lot of the time just find key, use key on door.
Find the right item, put it in the right spot, or sometimes push the thing onto the block. Yeah.
Right. But I don't know, man. Like these ones I think are just not as much fun. I think if there was some kind of catalog, like if you could have maybe it exists and I just didn't see it, but if there was some place in your menu where you could go and see the different notes that like explain to you how the DDK thing works and like what the different passwords are, that might have made it suck less. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, this one's different. It's not just telling me which letters to pick. You know what I mean? I'm not going to wander back through the facility and find whichever note it was that explained how this type of DDK lock works. Like, that's just too annoying. It needs some kind of guidance on that, or some kind of just like collection of notes where you can look back through it easily if it's going to be that complicated. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
I guess maybe back in the day, people were taking notes on paper while they were playing. I sure as shit wasn't.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe if you treat this like a puzzle game, if you're playing this like The Witness or something and you're writing down all your notes, then like maybe, but I wasn't doing that. I didn't think it called for it.
I don't know. Maybe if we were playing this back then and we were doing that, we would have had more fun.
Maybe.
Doesn't that sound fun in practice? Like, take away being a jaded ass adult now in 2026 with no life ahead of us and we're all gonna die.
I've got a lot of life ahead of me. I don't know where.
No, it's gone.
You doing all right?
And no, you're gonna die too. And take us back to when we were young, and then you get a little notebook, and you can have a notebook full of your like Dino Crisis playthrough notes. That would have been a time.
Yeah, maybe so. This game also has a couple of different little like exploration type things that I found enjoyable. There's a lot of times while you're walking around where you can sort of open new shortcuts. And I found that to be really nice, where you're like, "Oh, I'm back here. Cool." Like I unlocked that door that I couldn't get through before. And that is lessened by what we talked about earlier, where like a lot of the map feels the same and it's hard to find your way around. But there was a little bit of that, like, oh good, I won't have to backtrack as much through that section that sucks or whatever. That's really nice.
Sure.
And then there's the laser grids.
Yeah.
That you can use to keep velociraptors off your butthole.
That's true.
And ahead of their time, because we won't know about, Resident Evil laser grids until the movie comes out.
That's true. That's a very good point.
So, hey man, What came first, the dinosaur or the movie? That's all I'm saying.
The dinosaur.
I will say, for some reason, opening all the gates and stuff, like opening up new shortcuts and new areas in that way, for some reason, really reminded me of Dead Rising, and I don't know what exactly that was.
I can only think of story progression unlocked, like a gate went up. I don't know. That's weird. You're weird.
It just made me think of like all that, where it was like, you completed this thing and now you can get into this new section of the mall. It just, for some reason, that reminded me so much of unlocking new areas in this for some reason.
All right, yeah.
Hey, which ending did you get?
We blew up the T-Rex and flew away.
You'd be surprised how little that narrows it down.
I'm gonna be dead ass. I didn't know there was multiple endings.
Yeah, there's 4.
4?
They're all pretty much the same though, which is why your description did not narrow it down like kind of at all. Did you take a helicopter or a hovercraft?
A hovercraft?
You didn't even find the hovercraft.
What?
Okay. All right.
The helicopter.
Okay. And did everyone live or no?
By everyone, you mean myself, Regina, Rick, and Gail.
And Kirk.
Yeah. Oh, and Kirk? I don't know.
You don't know if Kirk lived? What do you mean?
I think we just left him behind, or he got away.
Okay. So then you did, I don't know, the 4 endings that are listed on the wiki.
Yeah, list them
are you go with Rick at the end and you escape on the hovercraft. Which is just, you go with Rick's plan, you knock out Gale, and then you fight the T-Rex in like a warehouse, and you shoot the 3rd energy generator with a rocket, which then pulls the T-Rex into a wormhole. And everyone lives, but Kirk is MIA. But in that one, which sounds like what you got, but in that one, you escape on the hovercraft, not a helicopter.
No, it was the oh, fuck. It was the helicopter. I don't remember what happened to Kirk.
That's fair. That's the only one. That's the only ending that I have listed here, that's listed on the wiki at least, in which Kirk is MIA at the end. So that's why I assume that was the one you got. But you can also, if you go with
out Gale and got on the helicopter.
So if you do that, then you knock out Gale, you go to the helipad, and you catch, and Dr. Kirk is there.
Right.
You catch him, and then the T-Rex like chases you down a corridor while you're on this like rolling platform thing, and you shoot it. Okay, so you did catch Kirk then.
I must have missed it. I don't know.
There's like a whole cutscene. There's also that thing at the end where it's like, this is the breakdown of how your game ended, and it's like, this person was caught, and this person. Well, it speaks it to you.
I got up and left. I don't know what to tell you. I got this ending. I got the helicopter down the fucking, and then Rick's like, "Suck this, T-Rex," and he drops a fucking tactical nuke on him.
Right.
And then we fly away. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in my celebration, my elation of beating Dino Crisis 1, which came out in 1999, I immediately passed the fuck out. And then when I woke up, I was at my day job. I don't know what to say.
Fair enough. So of the 4 endings, there's only one in which you don't get Kirk, and there's only one in which Gale dies. Most of the time, everyone's getting out.
What? How does Gale die? What do you follow Gale's plan?
Yeah, you follow Gale, and then you like go with him to find Kirk in a lab somewhere, and then he tells you that the government that you work for kind of sucks, and they don't actually care about like who makes it out or anything, but they don't actually like want Kirk. They just want his data because they want the 3rd energy like generator tech. They want to know how to do that. And then and then he tells all of this to you, and then he just bleeds out and he dies.
Oh, damn.
Which doesn't really make sense because like he's gonna be bleeding for the same amount of time in all the endings, but in this one he dies about it.
It's because he ran.
But it's implied that the T-Rex, that Gale fights the T-Rex. So you still fight it, But like when you first find it, it's like knocked down and bleeding, and then it's implied that on the way there that Gale like stopped and fought the T-Rex, but that's not like for sure. No one knows for sure. And then you still have to fight it while you're escaping on the hovercraft, while it's running after you through the water at like breakneck fucking speed. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. The endings go some places, but I only had a couple more notes on this. I don't know if there were other things that you wanted to throw in. I want to talk about how bad the soundtrack is.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's so bad. It's like the only soundtrack that I have experienced that's worse than this in a game that we played so far is the one that you didn't experience in Resident Evil 1. Or was it 2? No, 1.
No, that was 1. The basement music. Yeah, I remember this discussion.
Where, like, in the version of it that I played, they, for some fucking reason, changed the basement music and it sucked ass. There were bits of the soundtrack of this that reminded me of that. It wasn't quite that bad, but it was reminiscent. I had flashbacks.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
So that's definitely going to be a negative. And then pretty much everything else that I have is like trivia. So is there any other parts that you wanted to throw in before we get there?
No, I think I've made my thought well known.
So the voice actors for Dino Crisis have a little bit of history on them. For example, the guy who plays Rick is also Donkey Kong in the CGI TV show that's really, really bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would not in a million years would I have guessed that.
No, buddy, but it's true nonetheless. Richard Yearwood is also the voice actor for bad CG Donkey Kong.
That's awesome.
Yeah, hell yeah. And the voice actor for Regina, who is Stephanie Morgenstern, is also the voice of Sailor Venus in the English version of Sailor Moon.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
Yeah. Just a little bit of voice acting royalty from everyone's favorite Donkey Kong project.
Who's the voice actor for Gale?
Some guy named Adrian Truss, who I went through his whole IMDb and found nothing interesting about him.
Damn, Adrian Truss, you got to step your game up.
In this game, there are some fun little bits. This one is one that I noticed that I don't think is actual real trivia, but I heard it. When you drop the bomb on the T-Rex at the end, in your ending that you got, it makes, I swear to God, the exact same sound that it makes when you hit the punching bag really good in Smash Brothers.
Daniel, I did hear that.
Hell yeah!
It triggered me.
When you hit
that might be why I don't remember certain things about the ending, because it sent me into this like state of shock.
It hit you and you went flying like a sandbag into your day job.
Flew out my window. Yeah.
There is I think this game was not intended to be seen at the fidelity that I was seeing it at.
Oh.
And probably the fidelity that you were seeing it at, but you were seeing it in a slightly remastered version where this may have been removed. There's a bit where you go into a guard barracks and there are just straight up pictures of naked women on the wall.
Oh.
They just got the whole butts. It's like really early on. It was one of the first notes that I took.
It may have been. I played it on PlayStation Plus. They got Dino Crisis 1 on there, but not 2. So fucking thanks for that.
Yeah.
I guess. And so yeah, they I didn't see.
You would have noticed.
There were people in the room that would have pointed it out too. And so it's not like I possibly would have. They would have made chimp noises.
Did you play this with Steven, I take it?
Jaime was here.
Oh,
my friend Jaime.
Okay. There are a couple of little unlockables that you can get throughout the game. There are 3 different costumes, 2 of which you get just by beating the game the first time, and the third one you get just by beating the game a second time. So they're pretty easy to get. You unlock the army costume for beating it the first time, which is just she's wearing like camo booty shorts and a green headband, sort of Rambo style, but green instead of red.
We were simple to please back then.
I suppose so. And you also unlock Battle, which is sort of a reddish pink top sort of situation. That kind of like the color scheme of it sort of reminds me of Claire Redfield, but it's not the same. It's just the same like color
Yeah.
scheme.
Yeah.
So, especially once you like see the concept art for it, and then you're like, oh, that's lingerie. Like she's just wearing like fishnets under that. Cool. The default costume is called Spy, by the way, for whatever it's worth.
Yeah, her costume is just weird in general, isn't it?
It's like a
It
leather
it
leotard.
it very much is like you drop in and you got your two commando dudes with you, and he's like, "All right, you go over here, you do over this," and then Regina's like, "Why is my butt so accentuated?"
Why do
And Gail's like, "Don't ask questions, just do it."
why is my butt nearly fully out? And they're like, hey, just be glad you're not in Metal Gear. It'd be worse.
Would be worse.
And then there's a third costume you can unlock by beating it a second time, which is called Ancient, and it's basically just a skimpy cave woman costume. Like it's got that like sort
The
of like
leopard
leopardy print one.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's in the style of like a mini dress, and that one also reskins all the guns in the game, so that all the pistols are just two bones that are like in the shape of an L, sort of.
Well, that's funny.
And your grenade launcher becomes a fish for some reason.
All right. That's game of the year.
You can also unlock an infinite grenade launcher by seeing all the different endings in the game.
Oh, okay, cool.
As well as there is a game mode called Operation Wipeout, which you unlock in there's like 4 different ways you can unlock it. It's basically just beat the game either fast or without dying. And it's just sort of like it's not really a score attack game, but it's like it's time based and you get more time by killing things and lose time for getting hit. It's called Wipeout mode.
All right.
So that's everything I got for you. Pretty quick little conversation on that there Dino Crisis. But that brings us, of course, to that time of the episode where we gotta rate this guy.
Yes, it does.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling right now, this very moment, that I'm sitting at a flat 7 out of 10. Which is good. Is a good score. It is lower than I think I gave all the Resident Evil games we played. Maybe I gave Code Veronica a 7 because I was a little harsh on it. Yeah, I did. I gave Code Veronica a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 as well. Just because as mentioned, this is a fun game. I liked playing it, and I feel like certain aspects of it, I wouldn't call them half baked, but I'm like, ooh, if we clean this up a little bit, and if we built this on a machine that could let us go outside, that would be an awesome game. That would tick it up.
That'd be pretty cool.
So yeah, I'm thinking 7.
I also have this written down as a 7 here. I think for a lot of the same reasons you said, it's like this game is really, really good, but I don't feel like I could realistically call it great just because of some of the limitations that it has in terms of like, I just feel like the atmosphere isn't really there for a horror game. It wasn't particularly scary at any point. I do like the voice acting. I think the voice acting for me is a highlight because I do really like Regina and Rick, especially. I think that the voice actors for them do a really good job. Especially when you compare it to like that is maybe one of the only areas where when you compare it to the Resident Evil games that have come out at this point where it comes out favorably, because you look at obviously Resident Evil 1 and 2 and it's like,
oh well, you
come on.
Oh, at this point, yeah. I was about to make a bit where I was like, don't compare this to Steve, but the game hasn't happened yet. So
hasn't happened. So I also have it at a 7. I think it is good but not great. I think it had a lot of really good ideas that could not be pulled off because of a combination of technology and possibly lack of ambition, maybe, because they're working on like 7 games at the same time right now, which may have impacted some of it. But yeah, that puts it at a very solid 7 out of 10 aggregate from both of us.
Now there's only one more thing to deliberate.
Yes.
We got to break a tie.
Of course.
What goes on top? Dino Crisis or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1?
Damn. That's rude.
That's tough, isn't it?
I definitely like Dino Crisis more, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater is like the better version. It's like there are other things in the category of Dino Crisis that are better than Dino Crisis, but there are not things in the category of Tony Hawk that are better than Tony Hawk.
I think Tony Hawk Pro Skater is the total package for the game that it wanted to be.
Yeah.
So I think that keeps it on top.
I agree.
Which means Pro Skater is still the number 3 game of the year, making Dino Crisis the number 4 game of the year.
Ooh.
According to us, whose opinions definitely matter.
Our opinions matter more than anybody else who has ever reviewed these games.
Our opinions matter more than anyone else who's ever been on this show.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, if you want to tell us all about how you feel about Dino Crisis or similar survival horror games of this era that we should maybe go back and play, you can leave a comment on Spotify and YouTube. Those are the 2 platforms that we're on, and we would love to see you on both. 1 is great, but 2 is perfect. Of those 2 different platforms, you can follow the show on Twitter at rsr_pod. You can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Daniel J. McG.
You could follow me on Blue Sky at Skylar8bit, or if you wanted to, you could follow along with our game ratings on the app GG. It's like Letterboxd for games, and our username there is at Ready Set Replay.
Woo. Anyway, until next time, everybody, play more games.
Play more games. Dinosaur games.
Everything feels right. Let's play. Take a trip.